Hi there, welcome to Carcassonne. It's today with at least a double header. That would be Mexico, Finland, and Colombia, Belgium. I'm not yet sure whether I'll tackle Peru, Hungary as well. Last match starts in about 2 hours, and I'm kind of tired already. So we'll see in 2 hours whether I'll continue or not. So Mexico, Finland, it is for now. Um, The standings show that both these teams still have a chance to reach the playoffs. A win today, more or less, is a must for Finland as they will be the heavy underdog in week 5 against RCP. So, containing Mexico today would be of utmost importance. Mexico, on the other hand, has their last match against Belarus in week 5, which, well, Mexico should be favored to win rather easily, but who knows? Belarus was able to beat Finland, kept it close against Hong Kong. So today is today. Yeah, for the Finns to have any chance, their two big guns, Nalaheim and Lapatori, have to win their duels. And then one of Tapayauki, Maelstrom, and Begonia Maculata on table 3 has to win as well. I wouldn't deem it likely that table 1 or 2 would go to the Finns. So the only chance I see would be table 3. I'm not yet sure whether I'm really interested in covering this, though. I'd rather watch some complex V&H and Nalaheim. If one of you would like me to cover table 3, just chime in the chat and maybe I changed my mind. So for now, looks like the table I'd like to cover hasn't started yet. Oh, and here we go. And the others, as you should be accustomed by now, in the corners, or rather the tiny windows. Not corners anymore. Oh. The Mexicans are playing yellow today, and the Finns with blue. Should be rather easy to remember as it is present in their coat of arms. And taking a peek at table 3. Actually, if they continue with that speed, I'm not really interested in covering the duel at all. That's not Irvin G style, but almost. So I'd rather enjoy the leisurely pace here between Elias and Otto. So more or less default moves so far. First 4 points went to yellow, and blue started a new city, claimed it now, continues with their next city project. Liberates the road meeple, and there's might have been a problem brewing for yellow. Having these 3 features more or less next to each other usually isn't desired, especially these 2 roads. Ideal continuation would be something like crossroad to take more points to supply the road end and close the bottom road on the left side. Else, this square here will get harassed, and rather soon I would expect the first pure road tile by blue to land here and hope to restrict at least the one road to crossroad, maybe both of them. But for now, the Finn just gets okay or good tiles even. So what'll he do with this dagger? Well, basically these two options, I guess. Both aren't really that great, as you'd rather continue this with Doritos, but given that yellow has a city up top, and if closed over here would pressure blue city from the top, preempting that idea by dropping the dagger there seems to be totally fine. H1, first monastery by blue. Yellow disentangled the roads at least, although the top one is rather in a precarious situation. Now it's in a mini battle with blue's second monastery on the left side. The 5-point road is in a mini battle with blue's first monastery, so definitely not a position that looks great for yellow. It's I'd rather play with the blue meeples from this position on this point onwards than with yellow. Even with yellow's slight lead on the virtual scoreboard, and in the long run, it doesn't really look that great. Will blue take another monastery in the middle for 7, but then having 3 separate monasteries which all need tiles? Or will they claim this up top to supply the road end, but also blow yellow's field up top wide open? I'm not sure this was the better choice, because this here leaves the road, but that really doesn't matter as yellow already has open roads, so it's actually blue's favor to leave it open, but it protects the city indirectly, because without this monastery, a cow here and the city is almost dead. Sure, there's still one splitter out there, but who knows whether blue will get it or not. Hey, Dutchnik. And you're welcome, of course. Yeah, by the way, let me know if anyone is really interested in Peru, Hungary. More of you who chime in, the likelier I'd be to cover it. Yeah, build up over here, quite likely with the Dorito. I don't think he's going for the road and a new city up top, not with this shielded tile, which is the prime continuation of this city. The one huge issue is with this continuation that 2 of the right-handed daggers are already gone. So a horse over here and that square would be severely limited. Yeah. Thanks, Complex VNH, for exactly that move, which I noted before. It's not really that great for yellow's field here, but does it matter? I don't think so. Yellow takes away an option to attack their field later and dumps the cow there. Looks like they didn't want to help blue building up the monastery, even though this could have been actually a consideration. Then trying possibly to restrict this square here, but looks like they are hoping just to get a cap. Problem being a restriction with the road is rather likely, but even in that case, at least there'd be 2 daggers left. So blue gets the second meeple back with tempo, even 2 additional points for the road. And it looks like the Finn has some network trouble, but might just be BGA not picking up on the connection status. Yeah, meanwhile, everyone else is rather quickly on the way to the end of their first game, except for table 5. It looks like, yeah, Vapula and Lapatori are taking their time. Same as these 2 over here. So blue did not restrict Yellow City to a dagger, but this restriction more or less works the same way. Only 2 caps left to close here, but still 4 Doritos. But these Doritos, of course, aren't the prime tile for yellow here. Rather not want to give blue the meeple back, but not close your city at the same time. So this impasse quite likely will stay that way for quite some time. So blue protects their city / ruin. Now it's killed. And there's only an outside chance for yellow to successfully attack this one. They have to find other ways to score more or less a boatload of points here, because by now they are roughly down 20. Hey, Napalmi. And yeah, building up this road, well, with the hope of getting the remaining dagger and maybe closing this road up top for, what is it, 10 points in the end. Yeah, looks nice, but it's just a 50-50, and blue could do something about it, and in fact, blue just did. So no loop here, not on Nalaheim's watch at least. Yeah, complex quite likely has to protect that city. Maybe even take the road like this, because leaving a 5-pointer up for grabs at this stage isn't the way to go. Yeah. Meanwhile, the Finn tries to rope in all the city parts that are lying around here, gaining 1 or 2 points, doesn't matter. Doing it piecemeal works at this stage. The biggest problem for yellow is having 2 fields here, which both Okay, but definitely not great. Hey, Vladimir. Yeah, and yellow's road investment pays off pretty quickly at that, but s- there's just no great way for yellow to get back in his game. Best hope, well, would have been drawing the rows here, scoring 4 points, supplying the road end, then getting the dagger, closing this city, supplying another 3 points to their fields. Yeah, closing this one up top, getting a dagger here. All that stuff works, but they more or less need to get all of these tiles. And well, there's just one dagger here, so it's either or. And even if all the stuff I just sketched were to happen, it still might not be enough. Yeah, Otto might could just kill this one, or take the city just to be extra cautious. We'll close this one, else yellow theory could still tie this one, and that is blue's biggest feature at 12 points. Anything else? I don't think he has to protect the bottom city. That's just not worth enough for yellow to attack it. Doesn't has to uh, doesn't have to attack any field. So yeah, he just protects his most valuable asset, and that is at this point with plus 16 before this move. Totally fine. Just restrict what you can restrict, yeah. And with this dagger in blue's hands, it's game over. Just way too little here, and in this case, too late for yellow. What does he do now? Snatch the field? It doesn't matter. But sure, if yellow doesn't take the field now, blue would. Blue had 2 meeples in hand. Yellow just had to hope to get a curve on the next turn, and maybe afterwards a cap to at least pull a bit closer. But this did not work out for them. Yeah, again, small points for blue, but scoring 2 and another 2 and 4 over here and stuff like that just is enough. And it basically boils down to, well, the lost mini battles are yellow with their early roads, and definitely not ideal roads, against blue's monasteries. And then again, as mentioned before, these fields. Yeah, so maybe this cow here, maybe it was necessary to try and build a bigger city there, even if that would have helped blue's monastery. The one thing I can say about this protection works, of course, but at this point in time, it wasn't necessary. Blue only had the 1 meeple in hand back then. Yeah. And yellow, I think, was already down by a dozen points or so. I'm not sure anymore. Well, actually, let's check. When was this move 60? So this one. Okay, was more or less equal. Yeah, well, still, I would have at least considered this for a tad longer, especially because it was quite likely that blue would get something here and then harass the city before yellow gets to close it. The odds definitely were in blue's favor there. So yellow starts another city up top, which won't work. Actually, it never works. With every tile, blue can immediately kill that city. But at -15, I don't think yellow really has to count anymore. Blue even takes the road here just to, I don't know what, actually. Because yellow doesn't have a meeple in hand, so they can't even claim this one. It's because of the quick point tiles. The road monastery. Blue doesn't want to waste even 1 point. And so it goes. On table 3, Lichida Killer 1. And on table 2, Maelstrom at least kept it close against Pichan, but lost nonetheless. And table 5 looks pretty close. Let's take a quick look there. Laboratory is down 5, lost the starting player advantage due to the discarded quad city. And both have a meeple in hand. Yeah, but with this tile, it's game over, and Vapula will win this one. And on table 1, I am D5, 1 for the Mexicans as well. But Maelstrom won against Pichan. So we have 2 Finnish wins at least. And with this result here, there definitely is still hope, because Laboratory for sure is able to mount a comeback against Vapula. Yeah, addressing what Isna said, were there 2 curves out there? I guess so. So with 2 curves still in the deck, yellow could have denied blue the opportunity to get the, what was it, 6 or 7 point road by just placing the curve there. Yeah, sure. So meepling the straight, no matter why, was totally fine. I mean, at that point in time, Nalaheim could have done basically anything, even just dumping tiles, I think. The lead just was too big or complex V and H to overcome. Yeah, someone is pretty road happy today. And someone else likes to create problems for roads. Yeah, nice monastery built up by yellow. But of course, Nalahim jumps on this chance, taking the 6-pointer or 7-point spot. Quad City. 2 options. Which would you pick? Well, for sure the left one. Yeah, and still nothing for yellow's road here. Yep, and now comes the restriction. 2 starting tiles left for now. I mean, this is a nuisance for Blue City. Quite likely the left one as well, as he only would continue there once this one is closed, I guess. Else, with stuff like that, you'd risk that city yourself. I mean, the same goes the other way around, but at least then you'd have a nice ruin. With this tile, though, he does not opt close this here. Instead, tries to pressure even more meeples of yellow. Blue seems to be relentless here, and why not? Wow, yellow has to waste a prime tile like a shielded extender. I mean, it's not wasted. At least there was an outside chance to do something against Blue's monastery, but you'd rather add this precious tile to a city of your own than use it to create hypothetical problems for your opponent's features. Yeah, also not ideal over here, because that would give, well, only 2 straights left, but these would restrict the city here. Same for Road Monastery, for example. And do you really want to indirectly continue Yellow's road? I don't think so. Only 2 meeples in hand. Equalizing Yellow City. Why not, actually? It's easy to get that one back. This one, Monastery as well. So Blue has 3 meeples that are rather easy to liberate. Yeah, now he'll take 2 points and create more problems for Yellow, which Yellow actually could have prevented, this time by meepling the 1-point road. Because in that case, it would have been rather unlikely for Blue to give Yellow a point and the meeple back just to possibly create problems for this road. Instead, quite likely you would have just snatched 2 points and then going after these 2 meeples here on the roads. Yeah, so how greedy is Blue? 4 points? Killing the road for good? Definitely not, as this is the penultimate starting tile, so that's only a 50-50, and that restriction is definitely good enough for the Finn. He quite likely won't kill this unless maybe he gets a straight. Okay, he goes for the city. I don't know, actually. I mean, two options to attack it for yellow. But of course, yellow has to get a tile to do so. And if not, well, two Doritos. And you almost have this one in the back. Does not work as the Finn would have liked. And now we still have 4 triple cities for yellow, and one hits immediately to equalize blue cities. So, yeah, these 4 points could hurt in the long run. This looks nice, but isn't. It's for one, then easy to restrict both, and the road is also not ideal, but he nonetheless goes for it and gets rewarded. Will now save the city, create a, what is it? Sinister Hamster -1. So a nice road monastery spot, still missing 2 pieces for an evil hamster though. And this road here, of course, is rather easily restricted to the remaining starting tile. But with 4 immediate road ends still in the deck out of, what was it, roughly 30 tiles. Yeah. Leaving this out there for anyone to take is not the way to go. Not when you have the meeples and you can spare this one, even if it gets restricted or killed. Maybe this one. It's risky. 2 pieces by yellow and both meeples could die. But it takes away more or less yellow's shot at attacking this, although there's only 1 piece to connect here, as all field Doritos are gone and there's only 1 cow left. Nonetheless, this here more or less nips this possible attack in the butt, and so with a Dorito, would rather try to kill the city. It does not work as they had hoped. And the remaining starting tile goes to blue. So this 1-point road meeple is dead now, officially. So will blue claim these 4 points now? Which also prepares this square to be filled by the one and only remaining rows later. So even the remaining road monastery would work or could work out nicely for blue. Yeah, so this was the key move. As Possibly problematic it was. It also had the potential, as we've just witnessed, to blow the game wide open. So, I don't know, was it a high risk? I don't know, but definitely a high reward for blue. Going for it, risking restriction of monastery and city at the same time. If that would have happened, sure, they at least still had 2 daggers left, so the city would have been still alive. But yellow's chances would have been, of course, better. Now at -18 with this farmer, yeah, who at least would share a field with blue if blue were to get one of the 2 remaining vanillas. Does this help? I don't think so. I mean, basically, yellow has to hope to take this field away from blue and not close blue city, but how? Outdraw them, get the road monastery, close this city for sure. Well, yeah, attacking the road, why not? And blue just claims another field, which is airtight. No way to attack this 9-pointer. Beautifully done with this cow here. Yeah. Um, sure, it's annoying, but when you're down 20, I think you have to go for stuff like that. Even if there are only then 2 pieces left to get this meeple back and 1 over here to get the monastery closed. But these 2 points, they just don't move the needle. Yeah, and now it's just for blue to defend, to take away options from yellow to score points or get meeples back. So I wouldn't even be surprised if he were just to kill this one. Or, well, do the other way. Close the road, get 1 meeple, that is all he needs, and take the field, which could even grow if the rose falls into blue's hands. Oh, actually, this city is still alive. Rose, cap, Rotorito. On table 2, Peachan just equalized, forced the decider there against Maelstrom. Okay, yellow takes a 6-point field, and again, this city is still alive, so getting the remaining dagger and the rose would net them 13 points. They could even, maybe they need even to risk stuff like snatching 3 road points and hoping to outdraw blue to get the dagger. Yeah, they absolutely need to do stuff like that, but at -23 with just this move and 3 more remaining, yellow won't come back here. On table 1, IMD5 just secured the first duel for Mexico. And it looks like Vapula trounces Lapatori on table 5. And with that, the Finns more or less can say goodbye to any hopes of upsetting the Central Americans today. Yeah, the Finnish machine thinking, taking his time, 2.5 minutes left, taking away, well, a field attack over here. Why not? It does not matter, but cares. And these monasteries, they just don't do anything for yellow here. Best is a 4-point spot and 5-point spot on the right side. But that does not help. Looks like Begonia on table 3 will lose a rather close one, but we'll see. Yeah, over here there will be nothing happening, so let's check out table 3. Again, a quad city discard. So Begonia has one move left and no meeple in hand. Okay, well then. Yellow, Lichida Killer wins this one as well, secures another duel for Mexico. Let's check out Vapula Lapatori. And let's see whether there is still a chance for the Finn to turn this one around. And it looks like there should be. So both have a monastery in place up top for 8 points. Yellow City at the bottom is dead. And all the other meeples in play are farmers. We are talking about a main field that is currently owned by these 3 yellow versus blues 2 meeples. But blues 3rd meeple at the bottom could still join, and the same goes for this one, but there was only one straight left, and this straight was just drawn by yellow. So blue won't get this meeple back, won't take this 6-point field and connect to the main field with tempo. That is a shame, because this tile alone more or less could have turned this game around. And if Vapula knows their stuff, they'll kill Lycia. So, there's a second way for this farmer into the field, and that is this one. And this, with a road monastery still out there, would even allow the field takeover. And that is especially crucial because yellow would need the road monastery to bring their 4th farmer into the main field. And as this field stands at 24 points, A takeover by blue would be a 48-point swing, and that is way more than the current difference on the scoreboard, and a blue finds this move. Great. So now we are waiting for the road monastery and, well, for yellow to do something about it. They could go for this and then either kill or equalize if there's any tile with which they can't kill but could only equalize, but I don't see one. Yeah. So then the question is, would this position be better? Yeah, actually, I think it would, because then they could use the road Dorito as well to kill. Okay, blue will protect. No brainer. And then the question is whether there is another option for yellow to secure the tie on the field. Whoa. Yeah, why not? I mean, he's down 27. If he takes the field, he would be up 21. And basically, this triple farmer attack. Has any one of you ever seen stuff like that? I can't think of a situation with this setup. This triple farmer attack would ensure taking the field, and it is unlikely that yellow could outscore blue. And if he doesn't add the third attacking farmer, then yellow might still have a chance on the left side, for example, to re-attack and tie the field, or over here. Not really sure what was left. Yeah, for example, with a regular Dorito and a curve, yellow could have re-attacked. But this triple farm attack here, great stuff, great stuff. So at least we have two deciders, and two deciders in combination with Nullaheim's win on table 4 means that there are still chances for the Finnish squad. So let's go to table 2 and check whether these chances are real or not. And I'd say not. This square's dead, and this square's dead. Also, blue's meeples over here are dead. Basically, all these meeples are dead. And therefore, yellow has the meeple majority here with a 3-1. If we consider this here as alive, and it definitely is, and they have plus 20, there is no chance to attack this abomination in the middle. So blue would need to get all the quick point tiles in the deck and hoping that, well, yellow for sure doesn't get prime tiles like the shielded extender. If they were to whiff and only get a lot of roads, well, there might have been still a chance for blue, but at this point, I don't see this happening anymore. Unless yellow plays some dumb stuff. There is still a road monastery left, which could create a very juicy field here. And yeah, blue risk it, and blue has to risk it. That move is totally fine. 2 triple cities out there, just getting one on your next turn, and you take away this one. You get your meeples back. You might still have a chance. Waiting for, I don't know, a better situation wouldn't serve blue well in this case. So totally respect this decision to go all in for the 2 triple cities, even if there are still 17 tiles left at this point. This one, though, no. I mean, just harass yellow city, possibly supply another point to your road end or not, does not matter. I mean, it's dead. But at least take away a few caps from yellow. And this here, creating the road, I don't like it, especially not when you need one of the road ends somewhere else and you have other uses for the road monastery anyway. Yeah, and so it goes. There is one of the triple city tiles just taken to score 3 road points. Yeah, blue tried to protect the city here, but at minus 25, even an immediate cow won't save their day. Basically, the only tile that would work for them afterwards is yellow drawing the road Dorito, because with this road Dorito, yellow would not be able to claim this 9-point field. Everything else works. Some cases, of course, they just close their city and claim this field indirectly. Yeah, definitely not great. So we see yellow could even just claim the 8-point monastery. They don't need to. Quite likely they shouldn't. There are so many quick point tiles out there, and in some cases, this meeple here doesn't get back to them, and they don't get the curve. Oh no, it's dead anyway. Yeah. So this here, for example, sure, there is still one Dorito out there, but at least you've set up the 50-50 and blocked, or restricted rather, your opponent's feature. On the other hand, this here works better actually. This also leaves only one tile, but gives you the chance to kill it on your next turn and doesn't supply points. Yeah, Pichon will count and quite likely protect. There is the road Dorito, and does not help blue at all. So we are at -25. This city here, does it help? Not anymore, as yellow would be guaranteed to claim the field. So this is game over. Well, let's just wait for them to get on the field. Here we go. And they are still at +24, and there's nothing that blue can do. So this then will be, or is, the third win for the Mexicans. And now it's, well, the remaining duel to pass the time until Colombia, Belgium starts in roughly 5 minutes, 6 minutes. And of course, it's a bit about Carcassonne players' Finnish honor, Balapatory trying to secure at least decent tiebreaker, which would be the case if the Finns were to get a second duel win here, which at least in theory would still give them a chance to reach the playoffs again. They will play against RCP next week. That is definitely not an easy opponent. It will definitely be more tricky to get a match win next week than today. But never say never. So here we still have 2 road Doritos left to close Blue City and help these 2 yellow meeples. But I don't see yellow closing that city. A simple curve, and they get this monastery meeple back. This here is still easy to liberate. The same goes, well, for the other monasteries. So quite likely they'll have to suck it up, leave this gap there, maybe even hope to draw the last road Dorito as well to prevent blue from scoring that city and claiming the 6-point field later. So yeah, try to build up stuff over here. Yeah, it's fine. Trying to pressure Blue City did not work, but stuff like that just happens sometimes. Blue will quite likely claim on this 9-pointer here on the left side if given the chance. Might even prefer that move over continuing their road and trying to pressure this square. Yeah, there's a curve. Oh no, he continues with the road. Okay. Did consider a farmer, maybe? I hope not. Really, the farmer now, sure, there are two cities on this field. There is a lot of potential, but really, when you're that tight on meeples, hmm, on the other hand, if yellow doesn't claim it, well, blue would. Maybe here, just dumping the cap on your field, helping your monastery, maybe even more aggressive like this, setting up a monastery spot, um, but with no starting tile left and only one left-handed dagger. I think that could be too aggressive. So they play the more cautious move, and this seems to be completely fine. For those who tuned in to watch Colombia, Belgium, I'll switch to them once this here is done, or at least decided, because as of now, this imbalance in meeple count currently score as well. And the situation of Blue City, which could still be closed, promises a rather interesting endgame, and therefore I'd like to stick around. So blue finally takes the field for 9 on the left side, which also sets up a field attack via a curve over here onto yellow's 12-point field. And in the end, it should be blue having the advantage. But currently, these 3 meeples, yellows here, yeah, this one more or less is dead now. This one up top could be killed rather easily from the top with 2 tiles. So actually, yellow could equalize the meeple count, at least for the remainder here. And then they might be able to fend off blue's quite likely field attack. Oh, we'll see a field attack now. Nice one. So then it's a question, who'll place the second farmer first? Yellow, definitely not now. Will they go after blue city? They don't. They could have. They do now, but blue will defend. The question is, are you aggressive, hoping to outdraw your opponent, getting a splitter or Dorito before your opponent gets one of the 2 killing tiles? Or are you patient and continue indirectly, and maybe even with a farmer there, just to take this option away from yellow? I think I like this farmer. Because even if yellow were to then attack here, you'd have the second one already in place. The one problem is the not available starting tile. So, well, they keep their 2 meeples in hand, which is fine, of course. Yeah, will yellow take this opportunity? There's still a splitter left, and that splitter would be pure gold for yellow. At -17, I think they have to go for stuff like that. I should sketch it, actually. So this one, then the splitter. Plus the field, that would be 10 plus 9 points for yellow, 3 for blue. So a 16-point swing, and then you're in the middle of the action. Sure, there's also a regular Dorito left, and if blue gets that, well, all this might be not working out, but what else is there? What else is there? Just fighting for the field, which is worth 12 points. I think that doesn't cut it. And this monster is dead, as this was the last vanilla. So yellow goes for the jugular up top, hoping to draw the splitter ASAP, of course. Yeah, they take away this attack, or decrease the likelihood of this being successfully executed. Blue indirectly attacks here, going there, and now having 2 roots into the main field. And more important, taking away the 16-point option from yellow. And with this one, I think blue should have this one in the bag, but that is not the case. If yellow were to get something to attack here, they could in the end even unite all the fields and take over this one, plus the splitter, and they might still be able to eke out a win. Now, there are also ninja attacking options at the bottom. Yeah, La Patroi quite likely would be very well served by just creating this route, taking away this farming option. Okay, Vapula goes for the loop road. Might not be aggressive enough. Ninjaing and looping might have been the way to go. But of course, with 2 crossroads out there, that is a rather risky business. But these 6 road points here don't do enough, especially not now that blue could connect and take over the main field. The question is, should they even do this? Maybe not. Maybe just keep the situation as is. Yep. What Nicolas saying is the situation here where yellow used on their curve. I don't even know where actually. Was this one? I think this one. Quite likely they should have taken the field. Extended his road. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, then for sure. Just take the field here, attack it. Now, well, it's game over. This one quite likely won't see the light of day. And at minus 25, well, just keeps on piling. Even though yellow could still attack the field, it won't matter. And therefore, Vapula will secure the 4th win for Mexico. And this has implications on the standings, of course. So the Finns with 4 game wins today, Mexico will have 8. And well, tomorrow at, what was it? I think 7 UTC. I'll stream RCP versus Hong Kong. Looks like this will be the match for the likely group win. At least it's Hong Kong's last chance to secure the 3rd win in this group. And their tiebreakers so far are quite decent. But even with a 3rd match win, the Mexicans could still win a lopsided one against Belarus in week 5 and take over the 1st place. And of course, if RCP wins tomorrow and against Finland, they could take the 1st place as well. So there's still a chance for Belarus. Yeah, there is. If they beat Mexico 4-1, 5-0 maybe. Let's see. 4-1. Four to 1 does not work, it looks like. No, it does not work. They'd lose out on tiebreakers. But a 5-0 would work. Although that is rather unlikely. Okay, all this is for another day. Let's quickly check which group is Colombia and Belgium. It's Group G. 3-2? Why? Oh, oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Yeah, thank you, Kirillo. So it's 7-5. Of course, Laboratory was the one leading by a landslide and not Vapula. So I'm sorry. Then this makes it easier for Belarus to catch the Mexicans. And of course, the Finns still have a chance. They just need, well, to hope from Hong Kong tomorrow and then beat RCP in week 5. So here you go, 4-1 Belarus against Mexico, and they'd leapfrog. But again, that's a topic for tomorrow or next week. Why be plural? Which result did I mess up in addition to this one? So Colombia, Belgium. Colombians with 2 wins against at least my favorite for this group, Chile. But Chile is, I think, out of contention. But actually they aren't. If Belgium were to lose both of their remaining games and Chile would win against Vietnam, they could still take over the Belgians. Colombia, on the other hand, all but has secured a playoff spot already, except for huge losses again against Belgium and Brazil in week 5. And then Vietnam winning both their remaining games to leapfrog the Colombians. So that is rather unlikely. Let's change the scoreboard here and then hop into this match. First games are nearing the end. Which one to check? Let's go with this one here. I don't know nothing about the Colombian, but it looks like this could be interesting. So there is a yellow field in the middle. I only see the one blue farmer. Therefore, this third yellow farmer does not matter that much, but it quite likely takes away blue's options to tie the field for the win. So it'll be a close one. There are still quick point tiles, so meepling the road wouldn't have been the worst idea. Blue is at -2, has this monastery and another move. This monastery is great. 7 pointers are available, but there's the 6-point field. He could go what Kirill is suggesting for the ninja, but does he need to tie the field? That is the question. Does he really need to do that? Because this attack is only a 1 in 3 chance, as Raf only gets 1 move afterwards. So he might be better served by claiming the monastery, I wanted to say, but he goes for the field. And then he'll take 4 points. There are only 3 left for yellow, which would be a tie. Is that really the case? No, there are 4 points left for yellow over here. So with that, this begs the question whether this 6-point move was the right choice. So let's say he takes the 7-pointer. If yellow gets the horse, they can't claim the 6-point field. And blue would claim it on their next move, either over here with the dagger, even for 7 points, supplying another point to the monastery, or with the Dorito. And if yellow claims the field for 6, yellow would be at +1. And then it comes down to who gets the road up top for 5. Yeah, I think this road monastery would have been the better move in comparison to this field. But I'd have to dive deeper or check the chat whether Kyrillo has solved this. Top left, I don't think the top left is actually better, because over here you have the additional upside, even if it's only in one of 3 chances, of your opponent getting the horse and you then claiming the field. So that would be 13, maybe 14 points versus 9 points. That would be enough. And if yellow claims the field, you have the monastery. It'll come down again to who gets this one. So if blue then gets the field Dorito, they'd lose, but not with the dagger or the horse. Whereas over here, you scored the 7 points, but you don't have the upside of supplying another point to your monastery while claiming another feature. So in the end, you only lose the possible 1 point. And this 1 point doesn't even matter. So in the end, I don't think that these monastery spots are different in terms of winning percentage. I just think meepling the monastery would have been a necessity. Okay, that for a quick analysis here. Let's check out, actually, let's stay with these 2. So tables 4 and 5 were won by the Colombians as well. So they are leading 3-0 currently. Actually, tables 1 and 2 just ended. So it's 4-1 Colombia after the first 5 games. A rather lackluster farmer so far, in the middle by blue. that could hurt in the long run if the field doesn't get more cities onto it. This cow here doesn't really help yellow at all. Doesn't increase the likelihood of this city getting closed. So at this point, I would have loved for them to find a better use for it and hope to continue here with Doritos. I mean, they could still close it, sure. It's just more cumbersome than necessary once you prolong this one. Yeah. Why? Just to treat it as a ruin, okay. Okay, for sure, a ruin. And blue doesn't get anything to kill off yellow's monastery. Yellow doesn't get anything to directly defend. They could have indirectly. They don't go for it because with this straight, they were able to save the other monastery, even though there are only 2 curves left. No, no, just no. It's a shared road. Yeah, sure, you could kill a cab on your opponent's field, but why leave this open? I don't like it. The second meeple is highly, highly valuable, and that's why blue plays this move, allowing yellow into blue city, but this opens up an option for yellow to do exactly that. It's unlikely to be successful with only 2 possible connection tiles and both splitters still being out there, but it could have been a chance. Okay, I don't know. Is yellow still playing to close this stuff? I mean, it's possible. There are still all 3 daggers out there. There are multiple Rotoritos or cows, horses, and blue can't do anything about it. So interesting would be the remaining Dorito, because then yellow could play this here, hoping to get one of the remaining horses and a cap. And have smooth sailing from then on. But of course, that has to happen first, and now it's blue with the Rotorito in hand and not yellow. Yeah, I mean, blue could restrict the city to a 50-50, but why? There are better options if you just wait, kill this. And the likelihood of yellow getting here away with the city is rather slim. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. There is only this one dagger to go there, else you'd kill yourself. And if you place the dagger there, well, what will happen to this square? Quite likely it will get restricted to the same dagger. The problem being this one here is the last. So they had to continue it this way, keeping the hole for the two horses, and then have multiple caps to close there. Because, well, this is a chance, but it only works if after this move, blue gets a regular monastery or stuff they can't use to kill this square. As it happens, they got the crossroads. They took care that all three roses are already on the board, and in fact, they are. And now this city is dead. And we'll see how this one will turn out. For now, blue closed another city at the bottom, supplied another city to their field, and took another field home. Yeah, you're almost right, Nicola. A lot of tiles wasted, but it won't be losing by 1 point in the end. Yeah, still hope for yellow. Well, they need to get the curve ASAP. There's the curve. Beautiful, beautiful. There's a 12-point field here. But there's only one tile to snatch it. And blue getting the quick points does not help at all. Okay, field attack. Sure, it's a 12-point field. But even if they manage to successfully attack and snatch the field, it's rather likely that Raf would be able to outscore them. But there are permutations for yellow to win here. Connect, take the cap, take the field. But blue taking this cap still is not enough, actually. Check this out. He scores 4 plus 11. Yellow scores the other cap. That's plus 7 blue. And yellow could claim the 12-point field. Possibly. Although a blue starting player, it could end up in a tie. We'll see. Let's just wait and see. So the tie would be currently 7, 5 with a monastery for blue, 12 with a field for yellow. Maybe both +4 for a small city. We'll see. So the thing Raf is checking is whether he needs to attack now. I don't think so. In that case, he'd lose if yellow were to draw both road pieces. Although, no, he doesn't. He doesn't actually. If he goes here, he would get 3 points. That's +10. If yellow then gets both road pieces, well, this city would get closed. That's +13. And these 12 points would be 1 shy of a tie. But yellow could actually supply 1 point to the monastery. So instead, Raf goes for the field up top. Is this really better? It actually seems to be the case, because even with the straight here, yellow would not have won. They were at -10, so the straight would be +2 for them, but the cap for Raf would have been a 7-point move. Okay. Yeah. Again, I'm not convinced that this blue move was the right choice, but it might very well have been the correct answer in this case. Did I mention that table 5 went to the Colombian T. Rojas Henao against Balmir? Could there be 2 more different games than these two? 60-55, and the second one, they bang out 129 to 128 points. Crazy stuff. So this one here will need a decider, and considering these games were interesting so far, let's just stick around. Yeah, by the way, if any of you would like to talk about Carcassonne on stream, I'm always looking for co-hosts, so if you're interested, just contact me. I'd like to have more options, because as you can see and hear, I'm missing a co-host today. I'll have to tackle all that stuff alone and blunder my way through the standings sometimes. Although that usually works okay, I think. I just hope this one was an outlier today. Oof, yeah, there are better starts than drawing triple cities galore. Although Raf only got the cows, the horse was placed by a Neo. Nicholas says he heard streaming is the hardest job. It depends. In comparison to what? I mean, co-hosting is definitely easier than streaming, so, you just have to sit there and chime in if you want, else, I don't know, just sit there, um, maybe smile, maybe not, rip into me, tell a few jokes, whatever, to every other job. No, definitely not, definitely not. Hmm. And what to make of this situation? Uh, well, yellow gets away with their snake road here, drawing a timely crossroads. But for his troubles, blue quite likely will jump on this nice monastery and quite likely hopes to draw something to maybe claim the field. Mm, I know. I think this might be a tad too aggressive by yellow. Um, 4 of the prime tiles to connect here, of 7 are gone. It's not yet sure that they'll connect here and close the city on the top right. So I don't know. If it works, great. If it doesn't, definitely not ideal. That here would have been the alternative, by the way, just from the top. But with 2 daggers back then remaining, the move wasn't as good as this one now is, and these 2 cities weren't closed as well. So snatching a 12-point field while also bringing the hammer down on Blue's monastery here, leaving only 1 tile to liberate the poor monk here. Looks like a worthy investment of a city cap. Yep, and this is the problem. Now there's only 1 tile to connect here, but there are multiple tiles for blue to connect there and keep the majority in this city slash possible ruin. Wow. Wow. With only 1 tile to connect? Really? Um, Pretty desperate in the mid game. I mean, 40 tiles to go when he plays this farmer. Wow. Um, that is gutsy. On table 1, Peshitos just equalized, winning the second against. How was this pronounced? I've looked it up a while ago. Can't remember. Karkaroff, I think. I'm not sure. Yeah, I mean, why not? Why not? You want to get the quad anyway, and either you have the majority, or well, yellow would still need to draw one of the field Doritos to tie the city, ruin, I should say, because only one of these two squares will get filled. We don't have expansion tiles in this deck, therefore there's only one quad city. This here is also not ideal. Triple city, Dorito over here, something to kill. Would be pretty annoying, and losing blue the meeple for sure. So much so that I quite likely would have at least considered this one. But blue goes for quick points. Currently owns the 15-point field here, but yellow will connect at some point, or should connect. If they get the chance, sure, blue could restrict the connection squares. And yellow attacked from over there. When? Was this really necessary? I mean, with this easily killed by blue, this looks very, very wonky. Yeah, okay, but it doesn't do that much. There are still loads of tiles to go there. But there's a nice way out for yellow, and that would be the twin caps here. So now that this is killed and yellow's field is separated, unless they manage to curl around at the top, these twin caps would open up their field to the left bottom corner. Yeah, and now yellow is on the main field as well. That's tight. And they're only down 6 points. 6 points with loads of caps still left in the deck, which they could use on their field. So they definitely still have a chance. On table 4, Dev Dames Dompi won the second and forced the decider as well. And it looks like Learn to Fly on table 2 might get that decider as well. Yeah, perfect piece for Raf, closing this city. He's deliberating whether to meeple the field immediately to have the vanilla to attack yellow's field, but I don't think that's necessary at all. Should rather claim the 6-point field on the next turn, or over here for that matter. Yeah, he goes for it. I mean, he still has a lot of tiles to connect here if this doesn't work out, but he just gets the vanilla. But of course, with the option of claiming his own 6-point field and not unifying with yellow 6-point field, that is a better way. Now it's even 9 points. And he's at plus 25. There is nothing left for yellow. Even the quad city here only scores 3 points, so that does not help. And therefore, Raf will win the first duel for Belgium today. And then we'll have our pick, which decider to tackle first. If any of you has any preference, let me know. Yellow tries to crawl around up top, at least, but minus 28, and these are only 15 points, so that does not win the game. So we have one vote for Drem Cut against Dev Dame Stompy. Iberson, by the way. Anyone else want to chime in? And it works. Yellow connects, claims 5 points on top, but it is not enough. So Raf will win this one. Then let's hop to Dremcut versus the Triple D. And this will become a field fight if it isn't already. What? Why? There's a 3-point road there. You just scored 3 points when you could have just waited for a curve. Oh. Not great. But this year looks pretty nice for blue. I'll claim the city now from the top, rather, to only give yellow one chance to attack it. Okay. Maybe he wants to play against the square. Maybe he wants to re-attack once yellow equalizes. Ooh, yellow doesn't want to equalize, considering there would have been another chance to immediately re-attack. And with one dagger being gone and 3 of the vanillas, there are options to do something about this square. For now, yellow claims the 3-point road, as they should. And actually, talking about should, I should open the other deciders as well. For now, this situation is totally fine for blue. Yellow has the least valuable field up top, does not matter. And blue, of course, would like to place monasteries and stack them on top of the one already in place. So yellow did not get a prime tile to harass blue city. They, of course, could have used the crossroads, but opted to score the points. Can't fault them for that, and therefore they used the first one to at least prevent blue from closing that city without participation from yellow. Nice city up top from blue, restricting yellow city here. Still 2 daggers left. Problem being how to continue. If they want to have any shot, I think they need to go now for this one, hoping to get one of the many straights to protect. Or, of course, one of the daggers to close that gap before blue could do anything to kill the square. But as of now, it definitely looks better for blue. They threaten to limit yellow's small city here to the right-handed daggers as a dagger as well, which would be very bad news for yellow because there are only 2 out there, and getting both is just a 25% chance, roughly. A shielded cow? Really? I mean, sure, yellow already needs a Dorito somewhere else, but there are still 7 in the deck, so getting 3 isn't that unlikely. Yeah, and yellow needs a Dorito there as well. Okay, well then... I'd hate to do stuff like that with a shielded cow. But in this situation where yellow needs Doritos elsewhere, this orientation at least seems to be okay. Normally, at least I prefer forcing them to use at least 2 caps to close the city. Now we'll see whether this one will bite blue in the butt or not. So yellow preserved their chance to close the city. And blue, a bit panicky, trying to do something here. They could have also restricted this one to the dagger, as mentioned earlier. And well, if you want to do something about the city, I think you'd have to play from the top and restrict to the one and only remaining left-handed dagger and not trying to go for the starting tarts, of which there are still 2 left. So not the most precise version if you only account for restrictions. If you want to attack this and only prevent that yellow would close this, so if you'd consider stuff like that, then this is quite likely better, because the other option also gives yellow this chance. Yeah. Not sure which one overall would net you better winning probability. So does blue love monasteries? Not. I mean, I could go here and hope for another one. That would be the most greedy move. Or is it greediest? Greediest sounds wonky. Else they could have just claimed 2 points, added more cities to their field, or at least one, possibly a second, maybe even a third one later on. This one here works. Of course, now it's rather easy to restrict the road monastery. Yellow connects. And why not go all in on this stuff here? With their penultimate meeple now on a monastery and only one in hand, blue can't really go there. Not when the opponent is the party with more points currently. And that is exactly why this monastery here wasn't that great. Yeah, maybe it's this without a meeple. And then hoping that you either get both remaining horses or that you are able to kill this square, or at least if the horse hits for yellow, you maybe get a chance to re-attack. But I don't see any other move than this one. The only question is with or without a meeple, and I don't like this. Not at all. It works wonderfully, but it's walking on a very thin razor's edge. If yellow takes the city and closes it, this could be game over. The points are one thing, but getting these 2 meeples back really is the bigger problem. Because then yellow would have enough meeples in hand to just outscore blue's primary features, field, monasteries, well, except for the city, maybe. Let's see. Yeah, Dram card kills the road monastery. This was the fourth and last regular one. And another monastery. And yellow tries to do something about blue city. And, well, with this crossroads, there was a kill available, but blue didn't go for it. And with this road monastery, they could have secured their city, not allowing yellow the kill. But they went for 4 points. Yellow closed their city, couldn't do anything about blues up top. Hey, Raf, by the way. So, a nail biter. If yellow doesn't find anything better, then the restriction of the monastery is totally fine, leaving only 2 curves. Get this one back. Really? Why? The only advantage of this one over not doing anything is that in this case, yellow protecting this connection with a curve or curvy, you immediately have a chance to go there and do something about it, and this does not help at all. Yeah, and I fear that we'll see now this attack. I mean, he basically does he have to? I think he has to. No, frankly, I should call it quits if I don't see stuff like that. There's this one, this is the second, and the third one was already in place. So this is dead. We don't have to do anything about the city anymore. And that is exactly why I need someone next to me catching at least these egregious blunders. Oh. Yeah, okay. At least there's another one in the chat who didn't see it. Thanks, Raf. Yeah, it was okay, but does it help? Does it improve your situation? Because all the tiles you could use here to do something about stuff, well, are basically the tiles you could use over there. But okay, the vanilla, 2 vanillas. Okay. It has its merits, and quite likely it has improved the situation for blue. I'm pretty convinced it did. Is this a miscount because the city on the right side is still alive? The score is still close, and I'm not sure you really need to protect there. I mean, if blue would attack here to take away these 5 points when there's a 6-point field out there, let them. So I'd rather would have tried to close the city on the right side. On the other hand, this protection here secures 2 tiles, and if yellow connects there, the remaining horses come with the shield, so they'd gain 3 points plus 5. That's 8, and they are already at 3. Possibly with the road, maybe with a field. So yeah, that could be enough. Whereas closing the city wasn't really that likely, and they already have a setup to make good use of the rows at least. So yeah. Maybe I have to retract some words here, and this actually does more good than I thought at first. On table 1, it looks like, I don't know what it looks like. Karkaroff won against Peshitos. So that's the second win for the Belgians. There is the connection by yellow. Blue claimed a field up top. Wow. Gets the only cap left. But they are down 8, and there are multiple 6-point fields available. And this one here is the prime option for yellow, because it also allows them to attack blue's 9-point field. Not just allows it, it guarantees it, because they will get at least one straight. Question is, they could even take away blue's field here. 1 straight, 2nd straight, and these 2 farmers would kill the blue one in the middle. And at -14, there's nothing to do here anymore, and therefore or is there? He takes 3 points, but is still down 11. Dremka just takes 2 points for his city and will win this one, and therefore Meister and Learn to Fly on table 2 are playing the decisive moves in their game for the match win, and it doesn't look great for Colombia. It looks like the Belgian has turned this game around, this duel around. Yes, this could still tie the field, but does it matter if you're 30 points behind? I don't think so. And also, blue will just kill this one. Yeah, even if the city is still finishable, who cares? What is it? It's worth 9. If it gets closed, it's 22. That are 13 points. When you're down 29, even if you manage to tie the 12-point field, that's 25. That's still not enough. He could. It's no problem, actually. And if you have that luxury in the end of not needing to defend the field, not needing to outdraw your opponent, something went right before that situation. Yeah. It's all good, Raf. So there you have it. So Dominic in the end lost by 10 points. Actually, could have checked whether he lost the field. No, if he lost by 10, no, he didn't lose the field. Yellow only had one straight. So it's the team that I don't know why, but they can't do anything else than 2-3 or 3-2. They aren't capable of losing 1-4 or winning 4-1. They just aren't. Congrats, Belgium. Well done. And let's try to figure the stuff out here. So Colombia won 7 games and Belgium won 7 as well. Implications. Pretty simple. Why the hell is this stuff there? Brazil still leading this group with a dual difference of +9. So if Colombia wants to overtake their South American counterparts in week 5, they'd need a 4-1 win and sufficient game wins. Let's try the closest possible option for Brazil in that case would be a 6-8 if they were to win 1 duel to 0 and lose the other 4 ones 1-2. That would not be enough, but stuff like this would be just enough for Colombia to overtake Brazil. But they need to win at least 4 duels to have a chance to take the first spot. If not, it would depend on Belgium's remaining match against Vietnam, which, well, the Belgians should win. Quite likely not a 3-2, but we'll see. And of course, Vietnam, as I've mentioned earlier, could still reach the playoffs. They just need to win both the remaining matches, which is very unlikely. I wouldn't put this at even 1% chance. So it's more likely that the Belgians would just win, secure either second or third place in this group. It's rather unlikely that they still would catch the Brazilians, or both the Brazilians and Colombians. Let's check this out. So yeah, it does not work. Yeah, it does not work. So Belgium won't get to first place, but securing a playoff ticket is just fine for them, I guess. So this is it for these two matches. And let's then check out Peru, Hungary. Okay, they are in the middle. Two first games are already done. Okay, then which group is this? It is Group A. So Group A. The Peruvians, as expected, lost against China, but then were able to beat Greece. And the Greeks won against Hungary in week 1. So I don't know what I should expect today. I definitely favor the Hungarians, but we'll see. So someone wants horse. Yeah, well, horse against Bill. I think we'll have Siegfried for later anyway. Even if he might only need 2 games. Let's quickly check this end game here, and then I have no problem switching to the horse. Okay, this end game was quickly checked. This is another game win for Hungary. Overall, Hungary definitely is favored on tables 4 and 5. Everything but a 2-0 in their favor would surprise me there. Horse is the favorite on table 2. I would favor Silex Saxum over Gonzalez, and not sure on table 1. So let's go to the horse. You asked for it. I shall obey. Yeah, and that's why I'm not that keen on covering this one. Roughly 3 minutes played, 30 tiles gone. And it does not look like Robil will survive this speed, and it does not look like it'll help him to play this fast. I mean, as nice as it is to claim a field here, using a monastery seems to be a waste of a prime tile. But the good news is Yellow's monastery here is under pressure, still 2 daggers left. But that could result in the long-term meeple advantage for blue, and now that they are down 15 on the virtual scoreboard, despite owning a 12-point field for now, this could be that chance. Yep, nice 6-pointer. plus 6 points for their fields. That's just great. And bam, we are almost that equal. We were that equal before yellow's move. And then this situation here could become very problematic for yellow. Yellow kills this connection, separates blue's field from yellow's. Nope, they don't. It was the penultimate starting tile, and the other one was in blue's hands. And now we have a field fight. And this field covers the spread. It's worth 15 points. Both yellow's and blue's field are worth 6 points. There are still tiles to close this city to supply another city to the field. Yeah, so a lot is riding on this situation of this monastery, and yellow was just able to save it from destruction. Now they have these two daggers. Close it. Yellow takes these 3 over these 3 points to prevent blue from connecting here with the horses or the quad city. Now there's only one cow left for blue to go there. That might very well save these precious few points for yellow there. The one problem with this situation is that it could lead to a killed square here, and this farmer not making it via this route into the main field, but there is another run on the left side as well. And yellow might not need this connection. Okay. Blue feels like they are behind by quite a lot, that they need to go for this 50-50 shot. I'm not convinced that was or is the case. But sure, this is a great chance, but it's just a 50-50, and they need it to happen. And yellow invests their last meeple, has 2 options to get into the main field. Only 1 dagger left, as blue just got one. Used it to kill yellow's top connection. And if they now manage to kill this one, or at least try to kill it, going for the 50-50, should be fine. Then they don't even need to get the quad city. The dagger and killing this here could be enough, because they still have a meeple in hand and they could still score points. Yellow can't, except for getting the dagger or, well, the quad. And with the squad, yellow would get a meeple back, but don't really score points, that is. Yeah, so this will be killed now. At least I think blue should kill it. And then bank on drawing the dagger. And somehow scoring a dozen points or so. So I would expect this, as there's still one curve left. And one curve plus the dagger is definitely better than only the dagger. So table 1 just ended, and Andre MC won against Valic or Silla. And whoa, Nari won on table 4. So definitely no 2-0 for Siegfried over there. Yeah, and there is the curve. What the fuck? Why? This opens up this Hail Mary for blue. No, it doesn't. Blue already owns the field. And where am I today? Yeah, it's the dagger and the quad city, but there's the dagger. So blue now needs the quad and take over the field again, but they clamp down basically on all options and they only have this and the next move left. Yellow had the monastery and they could have what? Protected the connection with it? Yeah, indirectly. Beats me. Yeah. Nicholas, completely correct. Yellow dumped the monastery up top, right? Yeah, does not make sense to me. But not seeing stuff like that, it pains me. Yeah, so the horse rolls to a 2-0 win against Robill. And that is very good news for the Peruvians. Let's check. Let's go to table 5. Whoa. Last meeple by yellow placed onto a city that quite likely will be a ruin. And the problem being that they might need to wait quite some time to get a meeple back, whereas blue still has 2 in hand. And sure, if yellow manages to connect and then defend this technically city. It's still alive. That would score quite some points, but I highly doubt that these points would be enough to outlast blue, because these two meeples here will score, and there are multiple 6-point fields available to be taken later. Yeah, yellow had to connect. This was the last triple city, else blue could have killed here. And well, WTCOC is at -4, so he could even go for this, but that would allow the Dorito move for yellow to get a meeple back earlier. So even though points-wise taking the city part might be fine, meeple-wise that would definitely be better and to try and restrict one of these squares, especially with this last starting tile in hand. You could, for example, go here, hope to draw another road piece. There's no splitter left, and with this kill, by extension, kill yellow's last free meeple. Yeah, whereas this does not make sense. You could do the same stuff on the left side, but on the left side, you'd also get the option to kill yellow's city. And this here, I mean, it's the same without the additional upside. And there is not even the need to claim the cap. Again, this could have been used to restrict yellow city down to 1 Dorito and not leaving 2. Whereas over here, what does it do? Nothing. City is dead. There are only 2 Doritos left, and you need 3. Okay. Second chance, but surprise, surprise. Yellow gets the Dorito immediately, and now it's for blue to count. And once they did, no, they already did, quite likely earlier, quite likely noticing that they had this remaining starting tile in hand earlier, the last one. That this is a kill, and with this, blue only needs some points. A cap would do wonders, but a cap does not do anything if the city is dead. So if yellow finds this move, there is still a chance for blue to close it with the road Dorito, but then they need this one first, and then a cap, and then yellow might even be able to take away this chance. And blue still needs points. Yep. But the root Dorito hits, and it is a shielded one. So no matter whether blue gets to close that city or not, claiming a 6-point field, a 6-point road should be enough for them to win this one, as there is no way for yellow to score points. Well, I'm wrong. There is still one way, that is this one. Yeah, this does not do anything. At least kill your opponent's city. If you don't, that is like rolling over. And that's a shame, because it was, or would have been, way closer. Way, way closer. Yeah, 6 points over here. It would have not been a tie, even though there are now 8 points difference, and blue scored 8 points over here. But if yellow had killed this one, blue could have taken this 7-point road with the straight and would have eked out a 1-point win, if I'm not mistaken, which at this point might very well be the case. Bottom line, WTCOC earns the first duel win for Hungary, equalizing the match scored at 1 duel wins apiece. So looks like Gonzalo and Silex just ended their second game. Gonzalo was able to force a decider there. Then let's take a quick look at Nari and Siegfried. Because for once, looks like a duel with Siegfried isn't the slowest one. Looks like that attribute goes to table 1 with Andri, MC, and Balic. Whoop. What do we have here? Another player waiting for a quad city. And the other one attacking. Sure. You can take this to end the road. But there's still the splitter, there's still the quad, and if your opponent gets both, it could be lights out. So doing something over here might be a good idea. Yeah, not ideal for Siegfried up top. There's only one starting tile left, so stuff like the rose in yellow's hands would be annoying, at least, maybe devastating. But using this just as protection, maybe. Well, still loads of curves left, so closing this monastery with tempo might be not the worst idea. Yeah, this is okay as well, of course. So will yellow connect now? Just for the 3 points, but giving blue the second meeple back isn't that great. Maybe they go after the monastery, but wasting this shielded Dorito, I don't know. Maybe even just connect here. I mean, blue only has the one meeple in hand. There aren't that many tiles to immediately reattack. Maybe it's okay to set this stuff up and hope to capitalize yourself later and then bank on drawing the quad. Of course, there would also be this option. There are still 2 cows, but I don't like the upside there. And this here, of course, isn't without risk, but let's see. Given blue could get meeples back pretty quickly. Yellow has to do something, else blue will be able to expand their lead. Once they get their hands on at least a second meeple, and now they just did. Oh, very good news for yellow, the splitter, so at least this one here doesn't close this way. Simple approach seems fine. Sure, at some point they might want to drop a second farmer, but as long as there are multiple options available, I don't see the need. Go for it, and yeah, this is better. This is better. Only one dagger left. Keeping these 2 monks occupied, and in 50% of the cases, slightly less, as blue is the starting player. These 2 just died there. They just don't know it yet. So yeah, that's fine. That's fine. The problem is stuff like that. Nice move by blue. Payback for this restriction. And frankly, why not drop the farmer there now? Restricting the city to a starting tile, having a lot of pieces to connect. Maybe this is even better. It's also a 50-50 restriction, but you have more tiles to connect here, and one of them being the road monastery, which you might even use. Yeah. The one thing about this orientation, though, is it can't be killed as of now, because either you have a restriction to the starting tile or crossroads or a regular straight, but all these tiles are still in the deck, whereas this option here could be killed. So even though the other orientation would have given better odds for blue to successfully connect, the killing options for yellow might put these two basically on the same page. So second blue farmer on the right side. Will he connect? And if so, where? Likely over here and not there, because if you go there, rather have to take the field, the road. But Siegfried opts to protect the monasteries, leaving the one dagger to get both back, and not just these two monasteries, but also claim 4 points, even though that would be a city on yellow's field. How about indirect protection? Okay, to the right. To be able to score this cap. Yellow preferred to score their points at the bottom and not immediately killing this. And why should they? They need to score points anyway. These two won't be enough. So take your pick. Go for the monastery or 3 points or something else. 2 points plus an option to restrict blue's field attack. The problem with taking the monastery is that it is your last meeple, and there are still tiles to thwart the city here. Cow would be annoying, for sure. There are only 3 caps, so it's not a given that you get this meeple back ASAP. And being without one for more than 1 or 2 moves would more or less spell doom for Nari in this game. Well, taking these 3 points works as well. And if you think you need volatile stuff, then it's totally fine. Leaving these 3 points out there. There are still 2 crossroads left. Sure, first one goes up top for 4. So blue successfully took over yellow's field, but yellow closed their city up top and now has all the meeples they need, and even the dagger, which was drawn by yellow, wouldn't save the day for blue. So this is that. Blue only 1 meeple in hand. Yes, they take away the field attack, but there is another field which also moonlights as an attacking option with one straight left, and of course, could also crawl around at the top. So what does blue need here? Well, quick points and the quad city, and quite likely the straight, but the straight goes to yellow, so blue needs to re-attack, and even that re-attack might not be enough, but if it happens and if they get the quad, it should or could be enough. Let's see. They are at -13. The field is worth 18 points. That would be +5. Getting the quad would be another 5 points. Yeah. Let's see. Yellow has a 6-point field over here to take. That should be fine. There's a 5-point monastery spot up top if they get it. There would also be a 5-point spot here if they just take the field from the left side. Sure, they could kill this square, but that does not really matter. The only tile to connect is the remaining curve, and that works over here anyway. Yeah, I think they need to take the field. There's no cap left, so closing the city isn't an option. Taking the 5 points would be okay as well. There is the quad, but there is the curve in Nari's hand. And actually, this was I think, a huge mistake by blue. They should have turned the curve this way to have different tiles to connect for both routes. Yeah. So this case, the monastery or Dorito would still fit, sure. If yellow then gets the curve, they just kill this connection. But at least in some permutations, the other orientation, I think, would have been better. Time trouble. Not really. Not really, because monasteries are pretty easy to count, and you should know that there's still one out there. And so I wouldn't say it's just time trouble, but who knows? Who knows? So Scylla was able to equalize table 1, force a decider there against Andre, or Andre, whatever. And Nari beats Siegfried. Wow. Yeah. Talking about an upset here. And therefore, if the Hungarians want to win this match, they have to win both deciders, starting with a Silex. And this does not look like they'll be able to. But we'll see. Is there still hope here? Okay, Nicola talking about Siegfried. Well, then it's down to time management, and still you should know that there's still a monastery out there, I think, even if you are under time pressure. So in this one, Silex is down 9 points and yellow is the starting player. Yeah, this is great. This connection here would score 8 points for blue. No, not 8, 5. But it would not be enough. And yellow at least has one shot at connecting to the field still. And even if they don't, they should be able to just outscore blue with their meeple advantage. So claiming a 3-point field, blue gets this ruin. Anything else? Okay. Yeah, you need the curve anyway, so why not attack the 12-point field? Yeah, that's actually a sound choice, a very sound choice. It just does not work. So Gonzalo, okay, claims 5 points instead of 10. I don't know why, but okay. So 2 for the road, 3 for the field instead of 1 for the road, and 1, 2, 3 more cities. But whatever. This still is the third duel win for Peru. So let's take a look at these two here, and frankly, as Peru has won, will win either by a dual score of 4-1 or 3-2. And it's pretty late over here and I'm dead tired. I won't stream this one to its completion here. So just let's take a look at the current score, which sets up for one the likely duel for the group win, although even if China were to lose against Greece tomorrow, they'd still have a chance against Hungary next week to secure better tiebreakers than Greece with 3 match wins apiece. But China is the favorite tomorrow anyway. Hungary, on the other hand, yeah, they need to win against China and hope for Croatia to beat Peru to still have a chance for the playoffs. So in theory, it's still possible. But beating China, well, that's a tough ask. Okay, and this one, sorry folks, I'm just too tired. So I'll cut this stream now. Well, if you like this, like it. If you want to help me, consider co-hosting. Leave comments. Let me know what you like, what you didn't, what I could improve. So, folks, thanks. I'll see you tomorrow at, let me check, I think 7 UTC. Yeah, 7 UTC RCP Hong Kong. Bye-bye.